Our first word, of course, is government. What is government? Government is defined as the group of people that controls a community. Now that's an interesting word, controls a community. It's the group of people that has the power to make laws, to change community policy, but be careful using control, right? In democratic countries, the government, sure, they kind of control the community, but the people elect those leaders. So they don't have absolute power. In other countries that are not democratic, yeah, one person or a few people do control the community. So it depends on what kind of government we're talking about. But it's a government is the group of people who are in charge, who figure out how the community will act, what will happen in the community, or what the laws are. So that's the group of people that controls a community. In the United States, the government is represented by the Capitol building, also by the White House, but the Capitol building is where Congress meets. And that, of course, is a very large group of people who are elected to their position, elected to their office, and they make laws that everybody in America must follow. So that's the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., where Congress meets. Okay. So we talked about government. Government offers services to the community, but what is a government service? What are we talking about? A government service is a thing that government does for a community. Here, thing isn't something that you touch or hold. It's a service. It's work. So you could say work that a government does for a community. Here are two examples of work that a government provides for a community. First of all, we can see a police officer. What does a police officer do? They work to keep us safe, to protect us from bad people. Obviously, police officers are very important. They offer a valuable service to the community. The other example that we can see here is of a firefighter. What do firefighters do? They also keep us safe. If there's a fire or emergency, firefighters come out and help people get to safety, or they help put out fires. They help deal with disasters. And of course, this is a very important service to the community, especially in times of emergency. So these are two examples of work or things that a government does for a community. These people are part of the government. They work for the government. They are part of the government. So government services are work that other people do to make our lives much better. Okay, most countries, and especially America, has a president. The president is the leader of a country. So usually we have one person who is in charge of, who controls the country, or who represents the interests of the majority people of the country. And we call that person a president. In this picture, of course, we can see U.S. President Barack Obama and his wife, Michelle. Now, here we can see Barack Obama. He's giving a speech. Presidents give a speech. They always have this seal here, this symbol. Anytime they give a speech, they have the seal here at their podium. And of course, presidents give speeches. Many people come to hear what the president has to say. In this case, the president is talking about health care. He wants to provide the American people with another government service in terms of health care. And he wants people to vote for his plan. He wants people to support his plan. So he comes to the people and he talks about his plan or plans, and the people say, yes, we like that. We will do that. So that's what the President of the United States does. Most of the time, he's giving speeches, trying to convince people to support his ideas and what he wants to do to give the nation certain services or to do certain things. Okay, When we talk about the government has to meet somewhere, right? These are people. You know, you have the president, you have Congress. Many people are involved in the government. They have to meet somewhere. They have to have their offices somewhere. In America, they have their offices in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is the capital. When you talk about a country's capital, it's where their national government meets. It's the city where the government of a country is located. In other words, the Capitol building, the White House, the Supreme Court, these are all located in Washington, D.C. in America, because Washington, D.C., let me write this down here for you, Washington, D.C. D.C. stands for District of Columbia, and it is the city right here. It's not in a state. It's its own little area. It's not part of any state of America. It has its own special area, Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia. And that's where the capital of the United States is. Don't be confused, because there is a state right here. This is Washington State. So don't get confused between those two, okay? Washington State is here. Washington, D.C. is a city. That's right here. It's actually much smaller than this picture, okay? So don't get confused between the two, okay? Washington, D.C. is a city, about right there. That's the capital where the government of a country is located. In Korea, what is the capital? That's right, it's Seoul. Seoul is the capital of Korea. Okay. Safety. So we're talking about government and government services. As we saw, the firefighter and the policeman, they are very important because they help keep us safe. They want to keep people safe. So we're talking about safety. Safety means not being in any danger. You are not in danger. If you're not in danger, you are safe. Normally, usually, we are not in danger, right? Okay, normally, we are safe. We are safe, okay? And we're talking about that adjective, safety. Oh, I'm sorry, noun would be safety. Adjective is safe. We are safe. Let's get to safety. So you use this as a noun, let's get to safety. And as an adjective, safe. We are safe. Okay. Next one. Important. 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 Long word, many syllables. Important. Having a big effect. Effect is like result. Remember? Effect is like result. So something has a big result, or something is very powerful in a group or for an event, it's very important. The effect or the result is very big. It's important. In this case, this person is important. This person could be the leader, could be the boss or the president, and many other people listen or follow the leader. So this person is important because this person has a big effect. But not just people, many things are important, right? Objects or things in your life that are important have a big effect on your lives. Okay, here we have a firefighter. A firefighter is someone who helps keep us safe, right? We talked about this before. We saw the example of the policeman and the example of firefighter. What is a firefighter? A person who professionally puts out fires. So that's an interesting word right there, professionally. What does that mean? Professionally. It's a person who is a professional and they do something, they do it professionally. Now when we talk about professional, what is a professional? When we talk about professional, it's helpful to think about this word too, amateur. Amateur. Amateur is someone who does something as a hobby, or they do something that they like to do, but they don't get money for it. For example, athletes. In the Olympics, the athletes are amateurs. They're not getting paid by a team or a company to go and compete. They're amateurs. When somebody does something and they get paid for it, it's their job. They get a salary for doing it, then they are a professional. And if they do something professionally, they're doing it because it's part of their job. Firefighters, it's their job to put out fires. They're getting paid for it. They work for the government. By the way, firefighters don't just put out fires. They also help in other types of emergencies, like a disaster, an earthquake, or if a building falls down, they come out and they help people to get to safety, and they help save people. But their main job is to put out firefighters. That's why they're called firefighters. Okay. Another type of government employee. These are types, of course, of government employee. Government employee, a government employee. We saw firefighter first. Another type of government employee is park ranger. Interesting job, right? Many kids sometimes say, I want to be a park ranger. Why? What do park rangers do? A park ranger is a person who takes care of, they take care of national parks or forests. So, if you think about a national park like Chirisan or Soraksan, very beautiful places, right? Nice mountains, trees, but many people go there, right? It's a problem if people throw their trash or if they walk anywhere off the trail. Other people, the government, who work for the government, they have to make sure that these areas are used correctly, that people don't destroy those areas, or that the area is in good shape. They take care of national parks and forests. And you can see an example of a park ranger here. He's looking around. Maybe he's looking for a forest fire, right? Park rangers also put out fires. They might be involved in that. So park rangers are people who take care of national parks or forests. They make sure that they're beautiful and nice places for everybody to visit. Who does that service? The government does. So a park ranger is a government employee.
Lesson 4. The United States Government. Government. The group of people that controls a community. Government service. A thing that a government does for a community. President. The leader of a country. Capital. The city where the government of a country is. Safety. Not being in any danger. Important. Having a big effect. Firefighter. A person who professionally puts out fires. Park ranger. A person who takes care of national parks or forests.